It's October, and not only do we wear pink, but we craft with it. Hey, everybody, it's Whitney with Girl Friday Crafts. Welcome to the Common Canvas Pink Ribbon Artist Collaboration Playlist sponsored by Jeannie's Palette. This week, we are all creating something to honor Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This is a particularly special event to me. As I remember my friend Chrissy, who we lost to breast cancer in 2012. I can't even believe it's been that long. And her birthday is actually coming up soon. So we honor her memory for multiple reasons this month. And so I am particularly honored to be part of this playlist. I went a little out of not bounds, but a little outside of the parameters. And instead of actually crafting with a pink ribbon, I crafted using stencils from Essential Stencils, Craft for a Cause pink or breast cancer awareness bundle. So they are running a $25,000 fundraiser goal right now on sales of this bundle. 100% of the proceeds go to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. I will put a link to that bundle in the video description, as well as a code that will get you 10% off of your order. And so I used stencils from that collection in my crafting for today. So this is a live that I actually did in my VIP group on Facebook. So the editing is not quite what I would want it to be, because it is 5:10 p.m. Central Time on the day the playlist goes live, and I have 50 minutes to get the video edited and into the playlist. So this video might be a little longer than I would normally pop into a playlist, but you all can fast forward and just watch the parts that you like. Make sure you like, share, comment, let us know what you think. Make sure you follow along in the entire playlist. And if you are interested in what we're crafting, make sure to subscribe. This playlist is live every other Thursday, and so keep on the lookout for us. Make sure to give a shout out to Jeannie's Palette for hosting us this week, and I will see you all later. Bye. So before the Common Canvas, before we landed on the theme for this week's Common Canvas playlist, I had ordered stencils from Essential Stencils breast cancer fundraiser, which is happening right now. And I got my transfers yesterday, and these are the transfers that are in the bundle. And of course, I need to be moving on to Christmas, and I am still getting 800,000 Halloween ideas. Look at that little ghost. We are so doing something with that at some point. But I've got to get some Christmas stuff done first. So this is 2 sheets in this essential stencil. It's called their Create for a Cause, and it's 100% of the proceeds. So all of the money, not all of the money for these. You get these 2 sheets. Look at that little ghost bride there. My dog is saying hi. So that's that one. And then this one I love is going to be so cute for spring. Little fairies and the frog, and I love that little pink tree, that little raccoon and the birds. And then the other transfer in this set has all these little mushrooms and fairies and all of that. So that's one. And then there's this one. So you've got your snow globe and ornaments, an angel and Santa, all of the pink and gold Christmas. And then this is your other transfer. You've got more ornaments and the elf and the tree and all that. So when I saw these ornaments, my brain immediately went to this Chalk Couture whimsical ornament pattern that just came out this year. I can't remember if this was Holiday Home or Holiday. Might actually even have been the fall release, because in fall we typically have a few holiday related things. So I immediately went there. So then I was thinking about, okay, how do I blend these two things together? Because putting the transfers down on top of the chalk paste potentially means something adhesive on top of what I've pasted that could pull up the paste. And I don't know how these transfers work with our surface wax. Flip side is also true. However, putting a chalk transfer down on top of where I might have an ornament could cause that to peel up. And I, again, don't know how the surface wax works with all this. So I'll experiment with that, but I didn't want to do that with this project. So this morning, I had my aha moment, which was to do this on using a frame. So what I'm going to do is, this is just something printed on a piece of paper. So I cut a piece of paper that'll fit in this, and I'm going to put the whimsical ornament pattern on this paper because I know how the surface wax will work with that. And then we're going to put some of the transfers from the essential stencil ornaments on the glass. I'm super excited about this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the surface wax and this is a brand new transfer that I have never used and I don't want to risk it. All the things. But if you are chalking on paper, especially if you're new to chalk, or if you're using a brand new transfer, I do recommend that you wax the paper. We're going to buff off some of that wax. I'm going to let it sit for a minute first while I do this. And we are going to fuzz this transfer really, really well also. Okay, and we're going to put this on the paper. Now this is going to be a little bit bigger than the paper, which is fine. Just trying to figure out what I want cut off, if anything. So I think if anything, I want the tops of the ornaments on the top part cut off. So I'm going to come up a little bit. This first. Put this on my backer sheet so that, and so then it becomes the what goes where, right? I think it's just going to vary from one ornament to the next, whether I do the whole ornament in one color or I try to bring in multiple colors. So we'll just kind of play around. Yeah. So that's peeling up my paper. Post as the transfer sat back down and dried. Although it doesn't actually look better than that first one. It just needs a little help. Transfer the water over there. So it lifted a little bit there, but to be perfectly honest, like that doesn't really bother me. It just makes it look like an old ornament. And I honestly feel like on this one, even the only thing that needs even the slightest bit of touch up is that. But if I put a essential stencil transfer right where that is, you wouldn't necessarily even notice. I mean, if you looked at it at an angle in the frame, you would, but not front on. So I'm gonna get all my chalk choice out of the way as well as my things that have paste all over them. So I don't put that everywhere at this point. Do my mid-project cleanup here while that is drying. All right, so we're going to set that aside and let it dry a little bit. And what I'm going to do is cut these ornaments out of this transfer sheets. Here are all my scissors. Like 7 pairs of scissors. And I'm down to only 2 of them where they're supposed to be. So in the comments for the video is a pinned comment that has the link to the Essential Stencil Crate for Tour bundles, which is where I got these transfers, and then a code that you can use to get 10% off your order. And that code you can use all the time, not just for this particular set of transfers. Okay, so as I'm looking at my chalk design and I'm looking at these transfers, got a very different look here. So part of me was thinking, I wonder if, again, trying to look for framings, or if I redid this pattern in all gold, or the shimmer rose gold in gold. if that would maybe work a little better. Because these are a little more mid-century modern. These are a little more almost Victorian. But we'll see how it looks, because getting these on the glass, this transfer is going to look the same in how it's laid out, even if I redo it. So getting these on the glass in terms of how I want them positioned isn't going to change anything if I redo the chalk design. So, these apart. Nice thing about paper is it dries really fast. So this is dry enough for me to be able to put it in the frame and put the glass on top of it, to then be able to position these on the frame. So that's it. Put my wrapping sheets in the bag so that I can lose track of that. And move this up away. And I mean, this is a frame I bought secondhand. I got a little bit of lift right here, so I'm going to take some glue to that at some point. Drop that in. And then put all this back in a filler. Close this. It could actually stand a little bit more filler in there as well. Okay, so that's really, that in and of itself is really stinking cute. And in the frame, I honestly don't even really care about that. Okay. So now we're just going to lay these out. Actually, we're going to take this out of the frame to do this. Now that I think of it, because I need the full width of the glass. Ugh, I hate having to do this. Only because I hate just touching the glass more than I need to. More than I wanted to, because you get fingerprints and stuff all over it. And depending on where I place the ornament rub-ons, similar to how the chalk design is, some of the like hanging pieces and stuff might not be completely visible. So I do think I could put something there that will sort of cover that, right? And the cool thing is because this will be clear, is that you'll still be able to see through. It's not like we're really, I mean, we're covering some of the ornaments, but not all of them. I could put this there. Okay, I almost don't want to do this now. I mean, I know if I don't like it, I can get another piece of glass to put in this frame. But this chalk design looks so cute in the frame that I don't want to be mad about not liking it. Not like it. Okay, I'm gonna do something. Let's put this off. I want to see. I want to get the visual without the lacquer sheets. Um, sure. Wish I had another little, because I feel like I need one right here. That one's good. Almost. Oh, I could do that one. Ah, don't stick. Okay, nope, I guess that's where that was going. Okay, so note to self. They kind of stick immediately. Okay, it's fine. All right. So we're gonna give this a shot and see what I think. And if I don't like it, then I will. I mean, I have plenty of other frames that I can swap out the glass, and maybe leave this chalk design the way it is, and figure out something else to do with the ribbons, because that is the beauty of creating, being able to pivot. Now this does really nicely on glass. Easy to put down, comes up nice and smooth. And I love their transfer tools. Keep forgetting that I'm not laying this directly on top of the chalk design, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm just going to end up cutting it off. Okay. I'm going to leave that for now, and I'll just cut that off at the bottom, or wrap it around the bottom of the frame and leave it as well. chocolate. The same thing that I do on my chalk transfers. Sometimes if they're sticking, just kind of rock it back and forth. And then sometimes I do this. I'll put the transfer tool underneath the cover, the top layer, and work it down. And I think that, once you kind of have it adhered, if you're just trying to lift it and you're getting some resistance, I think that works. You can usually tell pretty easily if something is still on the, okay, there's a word for this. This plastic sheet, you can usually tell if the image is still attached to that when you're trying to pull. So that's also why you need to go nice and slow. Because if it is still attached, then you can go back over it. This is adhered. And I'm just helping it a little bit. I should think this might not looking the way I want it to look. Maybe. Thank you all for hanging with me. This has definitely been a little bit of a longer project. And if you're watching on replay and you want to catch a shorter version, I'm going to take this video and edit it down a little bit for a YouTube playlist. That's going to go live tomorrow. It's called A Common Canvas. So if you want to catch the quickie version, that will be available tomorrow on YouTube. I really do love these transfer around, so very pretty. These would be pretty in real life ornaments. That was good. One more, and then we will pop this in the frame and see what it looks like. Sometimes too, I have found if I don't like something right away, but I let it sit for 24 hours and look at it again the next day. No, actually, especially sometimes if something doesn't look exactly the way you envisioned it in your head, sometimes you have to kind of sit with it. So we'll tear that because you won't be able to see that. And I was kind of hoping I might be able to salvage that little piece. Frame that up here. Got little sparklies on here from the chalk paste, which honestly I don't really think matters all that much. Try not to do is get fingerprints all over it. Oops. That in there. All right, are we ready? Okay, that looks cute. That looks cute. I think I like that, you all. I think I might have to do just the chalk design in a frame as well. But I think that's really cute. All right, so we are going to come back this way and hold it up like this so you all can see it. I think that looks really cute. That's kind of, I mean, as close to the vision I could get in my head without, knowing exactly what it was going to look like. And because I covered that, put this ornament right here, it covered kind of the mistake with this one, so I don't have to worry about that. All right. Okay. So I have a Christmas piece done for my show now. Yay. That's exciting. All right. Thank you all for hanging with me. If you're watching on replay, let me know what you think. And like I said, if you want the shortened version, it'll be on YouTube tomorrow. Stay on the lookout for some Prime Days deals in the Facebook group. And if you're on my email list, look for those as well. And I will see you all later. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.